The fluorescent lights of the grocery store hummed as Sarah stood in the coffee aisle, her hand hovering between two bags of beans. On one side, a familiar American brand, on sale, tempting. On the other, a plain brown bag stamped with a maple leaf, roasted just a few towns over. Months ago, the sale would have won. But today, Sarah hesitated. She remembered chatting with the local roaster at the farmer's market, his passion for ethical sourcing and supporting local businesses. The American brand felt distant, a faceless corporation. The local bag felt like a connection. The price difference, $4, was real. But so was the impact. Would her money go to a boardroom in Seattle, or help pay a neighbor's salary? These questions, once whispers, now demanded answers. Sarah placed the maple leaf bag in her cart, no fanfare, no speech, just a quiet choice. Yet this small act, repeated by thousands across Canada, is part of a bigger story. It's a shift in consumer behavior, a silent boycott reshaping retail, one shopping cart at a time. The power isn't in protest signs but in everyday decisions. Each purchase is a vote for the kind of community Canadians want to build. The checkout line has become a place of quiet revolution, and it's changing the landscape of Canadian retail. This isn't a loud protest, no picket lines, no viral hashtags. It's a silent boycott, a quiet personal shift in shopping habits. Canadians are simply choosing local over American, one product at a time. The reasons are layered: rising costs, national pride, and a desire to support local economies. It's not about making a grand anti-American statement, but a pro-Canadian one. People want their money to help neighbors, not distant shareholders. This movement is subtle but powerful, expressed in the privacy of a checkout or fitting room. It's visible everywhere, in grocery aisles, at the mall, even in coffee shops. Each small act of economic patriotism adds up. The silence makes it hard for U.S. retailers to fight back. This isn't just about price, it's about values, community, and identity. Canadians are voting with their wallets, building up local businesses. The phenomenon spans all sectors, from cheese to coats to coffee. Millions of quiet choices are shifting the flow of retail dollars. The result? A powerful economic current changing Canada's retail landscape. The silent boycott is less about protest, more about purpose, and its impact is only growing. Price is at the heart of many decisions. Canadians see the same goods cheaper in the US, the Canada tax stings. Even when the exchange rate improves, Canadian prices often stay high, breeding frustration. US retailers are seen as pocketing the difference, eroding trust. But it's not just economics, politics play a role too. Some Canadians quietly avoid US brands as a way to express disapproval of American policies. It's a subtle form of dissent, aligning spending with values. When Canadian companies offer fair prices and invest locally, the choice is clear. Supporting Canadian businesses feels like investing in the nation's future. The decision becomes less about saving a dollar and more about making a dollar count. Price and principle now go hand in hand. Mark, a Calgary father, used to buy his kids' clothes from a big US chain until the quality dropped. He found a Canadian brand pricier but durable and ethically made. "They last through both my kids," he says. "I'm saving money and supporting a family business." Chloe, a Montreal student, switched from a US coffee chain to a local cafe. The owner remembered her name. It felt like a community, not just a transaction. In Vancouver, Eleanor's family chose a Canadian-made barbecue over a US brand. It's built for our winters, and the jobs stay here. These aren't isolated stories, they're part of a bigger shift. Canadians are researching, reading labels, and asking where products come from. They weigh quality, durability, and community impact alongside price. The default choice is no longer the big American name. Each thoughtful purchase is a chapter in a new Canadian narrative. It's about intention, not impulse. Canadians are reclaiming their marketplace, one decision at a time. The movement is personal, practical, and patriotic. It's not about rejecting the foreign, it's about embracing the local. These stories echo across the country, fueling a quiet revolution. The result? A stronger sense of community and national pride. Canadians are proving that small choices can have big impacts. The silent boycott is written in everyday lives, and it's changing the story of Canadian retail. For decades, Canadians looked south for variety, trends, and better prices. Cross-border shopping was a rite of passage, and US retailers were the gold standard. The arrival of American chains brought excitement and big-box bargains. For years, Canadians flocked to these stores, drawn by selection and price. Choosing Canadian was a niche idea, reserved for the especially patriotic, but in 2025 the landscape has changed. The novelty of American brands has faded, price gaps and lack of adaptation are glaring. E-commerce has leveled the playing field. Small Canadian businesses can now reach national audiences. The conversation has flipped. Why can't I find a good Canadian-made alternative? Local options are now mainstream, not fringe. The automatic deference to American brands is gone. Canadians are skeptical, seeking homegrown quality and community investment. This isn't just a reaction, it's the result of years of subtle change. The Canadian market is finding its own voice. The silent boycott is redrawing the retail map. Some US chains like Target failed spectacularly, misjudging the market and pricing. Others, like J.Crew, struggled with high prices and dwindling loyalty. US brands that ignore Canadian tastes and expectations are losing ground. The silent boycott punishes those who treat Canada as an afterthought. Meanwhile, Canadian brands are thriving. Roots Canada leans into national identity and quality, turning sweatshirts into symbols of Canadiana. Loblaw's President's Choice brand has built loyalty by offering unique, Canadian-focused products. Shoppers see PC not as generic, but as premium and local. When Canadian companies invest in quality and identity, they outperform American competitors. The winners are those who understand and celebrate what makes Canada unique. The losers are those who don't adapt. The silent boycott is a wake-up call for retailers on both sides of the border. The message: respect the Canadian consumer or risk being left behind. The silent boycott's biggest impact is on Canada's main streets. Every dollar spent locally is a lifeline for small businesses. Local spending creates a ripple effect, supporting jobs, services, and other businesses. The local multiplier effect means more money stays in the community. Studies show independent businesses return more to the local economy than chains. The movement is fueling a new wave of Canadian entrepreneurs. From bakeries to boutiques, local businesses thrive by emphasizing roots and quality. The silent boycott helps diversify the economy and strengthen communities. Local businesses can't always compete on price, but they offer value in service and connection. The trend depends on Canadians looking beyond the price tag. For now, the momentum is clear. Communities are being rebuilt, one purchase at a time. The internet is a new battleground in the silent boycott. US goods are just a click away, tempting Canadians with lower prices. But e-commerce also empowers Canadian businesses to reach national audiences. Social media lets local entrepreneurs tell their stories and build loyal followings. Online shopping increases transparency. Canadians can compare prices, read reviews, and discover local alternatives. A search for winter coat might lead to a Canadian parka, not a US brand. The internet is both temptation and tool for discovery. Savvy shoppers now factor in shipping, duties, and returns. Canadian retailers are improving their online experience to compete. The silent boycott is happening in browser tabs as much as in malls. The brands that offer the best value, online and off, will win. The digital realm is shaping the future of Canadian retail. The silent boycott is just as powerful online. Is the silent boycott a passing trend? All signs say no. Price sensitivity, quality, national pride, and community focus are here to stay. Canadians are more intentional and critical in their shopping. US retailers must adapt. Fair pricing, local investment, and Canadian-focused marketing are now essential. Those who listen will thrive. Those who don't will fade. For Canadian businesses, this is a historic opportunity. The appetite for homegrown products is real and growing. The challenge: scale up without losing authenticity. The future shopping cart will be more Canadian, not a rejection of all things American, but a shift in default choices. Canadians will buy US products, but with more deliberation. The movement is changing not just what Canadians buy, but how they see themselves as consumers. It's a declaration of economic self-respect. The silent boycott is a quiet revolution, one that's here to stay. The Canadian economy and identity are stronger for it.